Fear of failure convinces us that if we don't succeed perfectly, we shouldn't start at all. But failure on the trail doesn't mean you don't belong there. It means you're learning how to walk it. You want to know the reason why you're here on the planet in the first place? Don't ask what excites you, or what you're good at, or what your passion is. Ask instead what scares you. Your purpose is found where comfort ends and responsibility begins. And fear is a sign that you're getting there. Welcome to the Ascent Collaborative, where you and I journey through life together, discovering what it's really all about. Every trail begins with a lie we tell ourselves. We have time, that we'll do the important things later. Mount Garfield Trail doesn't overstate itself. It's just a path cutting along the spine of Western Colorado's most iconic buttes. Quiet, exposed, honest. There's a moment on this trail where you feel exposed. Nothing to hide behind, no trees, no walls. In the last video, Hiking Rough Canyon, I'll put a link in the description below. We explored discovering life's purpose using 3 simple questions. There I asked you to consider life's purpose. And I posed a question that perhaps your life's purpose isn't so much discovered as it is accepted. That's the scary thought. Most people think fear lives in the dangerous places, but fear really lives here on the trailhead, right before you decide whether or not you're going to start. This hike isn't about summits or distance. It's about fears. That's the scary thought, to believe that 1, you're put on this planet for a purpose, and 2, that you have a responsibility to step into that purpose. It also raises the question of fear and how to overcome it. There may be many fears in life, but one of the biggest for most people is the fear of death. And frankly, all fear starts here with death. Not just physical death, but fear of wasted time, of an unlived life, one without meaning or purpose. Most people don't avoid meaning because they're lazy. They avoid it because they're deep down that they know that time is limited, and choosing incorrectly feels permanent. But here's the truth. Not choosing is also a decision, and time keeps moving either way. Death isn't meant to scare us. It's meant to clarify us. We all need to come to grips with our own mortality. For me, that turning point came when I was electrocuted, when I tasted death and was miraculously spared. If we have a healthy view of death, then we should realize the purpose comes with a healthy sense of urgency. Death strips away distraction. It forces the only question that matters. If my time is limited, what is worth giving it to? I've come to believe that time is the currency of eternity. What I mean by that is what we invest our time in here and now has long-term ramifications after we draw our last breath. Which begs the first question that I brought up in the last video. Who am I called to serve? For me, that clarity that question brings provides essentially 3 choices. 1, I could serve myself, but that would leave to me thinking only about myself and how people see me, typically at the expense of others. It leaves us with a use people and love things mentality. I could, on the other hand, serve a larger cause than myself, but that's a subtle form of the first question, where I serve a larger cause to be elevated in the eyes of others. Or 3rd, I could humble myself, admit that I'm running from God, turn and serve Him, the one who created me for purpose in the first place. After 3 long years of investigation, denying the truths that I uncovered and avoiding my purpose in life, I found that the only rational thing to do was to choose this 3rd option. but it was the one that came with the most fear. Your purpose is whatever still matters after comfort, ego, and approval are removed. If something feels urgent, not anxious, but ultimately important, that's not fear. That's purpose knocking. After comfort, ego, and approval are removed, the ultimate urgent question is God real? I found that not only is he real, but that he desires for us to be in a deep, intimate love relationship with him. Progress, not perfection, is the only thing that the wilderness respects. The first climb is where most people quit. Not because it's too hard, but because it's uncomfortable. This is where voices show up. You're not ready. You should have trained more. What if you can't finish? The fear of failure convinces us that if we don't succeed perfectly, we shouldn't start at all. But failure on the trail doesn't mean that you don't belong here. It means you're learning how to walk it. If I've come to the conclusion that God is real, then on what terms should I meet him? Again, there are three possibilities. I can meet him on my own terms, but how do I convince him that I'm worthy of a relationship with him? By definition, God is divine, otherworldly, superior to me in every way, and I'm just a mere human. There's no conditions ever that I would be worthy on my own terms to have a relationship with him. Perhaps, maybe, as a slave and master relationship, but that's not what he wants. If you want to know the reason why you're here on the planet in the first place, don't ask what excites you, or what you're good at, or what your passion is. Ask instead what scares you. Eventually, the map stops helping. You can't see the whole trail anymore, only the next step. This is where the fear of the unknown paralyzes people. They wait for clarity, when clarity only comes from movement. You don't need certainty, you need trust. Not in the outcome, not in your own ability to adapt, but in the knowledge of moving forward is the right thing to do. Growth demands responsibility, and responsibility changes identity. There was a time in my life when I had to take that proverbial leap of faith. I looked up into the sky, and in desperation I said out loud, "God, if you're real, then show me." And I had already died and somehow miraculously survived. I knew that there was more than just this life, that there was life after death. No religious exploration satisfied me, and the nagging question that remained was, where would I spend eternity? I studied Buddhism, went to Catholic Mass. I compared various religious and faith traditions and found them all to be wanting. So I threw precaution to the wind and went straight to the source. God, if you're real, then show me. And he did. He showed me that he was real. He met me where I was. He showed me that his plan to rescue, recover, and redeem me. He showed me that I was forgiven, precious, unique, and valuable. He gave me his purpose for my life. is the traverse we just came across. Comes across that boulder field, up through a set of connections with the trail, and finally onto this main trail. And we then pick up and move forward across what I call Wild Horse Flats. And now the trail moves upward and across that boulder field through to where that coal seam is, and then up to the summit. And here we are, finally breaking that ridge, getting to the coal seam, which is under one of the last remaining benches before we do the summit approach. This portion of the trail gets pretty steep, as you can see, wandering your way up and through and over there to the left. You guys tired yet? I'm starting to get a little tired. We got this nice little bench right here, and then we get to go up that. How fun. Nice little sandstone scramble here. Go right up the sandstone face and across to the right, and then straight up. The magnificence of the views up here is amazing, even though it is a bit of a struggle to make it up the hill. And that's where we're going, straight up. Gaining on a summit is one of the most wonderful experiences that I know, and it's usually the view that just absolutely is spectacular and breathtaking. As we look south to the mountains where Telluride is, all the way across to the beautiful Grand Mesa and the Grand Valley. It's been quite the journey to get up here, but you know, that's what we're shooting for right there. That's the flagpole at the top. Let's see if we can double time it a little bit and catch just as the sun's starting to set. This is what's beautiful here. Being able to top out, get to the top of the summit. It's one of those things that's always well worth the effort. And this is what I love. Living in Western Colorado, being able to climb 14ers, being able to do a bluff like this one, being able to climb around and hike around in the Grand Valley. It's amazing. This is it. We're finally making it. Let's see if we can get there. Oh yeah. This is what it's all about. Gotta love it. Here we are, jogging the last few steps, getting to the summit, right to the flagpole. Oh man, is it beautiful up here. Can't believe it. Can't believe this is January. How awesome is this? Huh? I'm so glad that you came along with me. I hope you enjoyed it. Here we are at the summit of Mount Garfield in the Grand Valley. What a fantastic view this is. All the way to the top, little over 2,000 vertical feet from the valley floor, and standing underneath the shadow of the flag. So happy that you're here with me.
Every hike ends the same. You go back where you started. But if the trail did its job, you don't return the same. Fear never disappears. It just loses its authority when meaning shows up. The real danger isn't falling, it isn't failing, it isn't being judged by other people. The real danger is reaching the end of your life and realizing that you spent it protecting comfort instead of pursuing what mattered. I put my life in God's hands 45 years ago. We have walked together in an ever-deepening personal, intimate love relationship that will continue well beyond the day that I draw my last breath on this planet. I answer those three simple questions that I posed in the last video this way. Who am I called to serve? I'm called to serve God as His precious child and friend, not as His slave. What problem am I called to solve? I'm called to join Him as He walks alongside others. My job is to listen intently, to engage with them in their struggles, and to support them emotionally, spiritually, and by practical means. How am I called to solve these problems? I've learned to solve every problem that comes my way by reframing them as opportunities for God to show up and provide the solution, working with me and through me for His glory. This is my purpose in life, and if you're open to it, it can be yours as well. This is where the trail of life ultimately leads.
It's been beautiful to be up here, but it's getting late in the day. We're going to have to get down. What a wonderful place to be. So gorgeous looking at the sunset. I'm still coming off of Mount Garfield. It's a little bit later than I expected. It's getting pretty dark. It looks a lot lighter in the video than it is actually out here. It's almost about time for headlamp. If you're wondering, yeah, it's just quite the quad workout. On the way up, the calves are screaming. On the way down, the quads are crying. Why? Why me? So we're just heading down the spine. You can kind of see it advancing in front of us there. Don't want to make a misstep. Certainly don't want to fall down that, do we? We're about a quarter mile from the parking area now. Well, here we are. Just came down that. This camera has a light on it, so it's feeling a whole lot lighter out here than it really is. Well, it's been a fantastic time. Really enjoyed having you guys with me. I hope you've enjoyed it. We're back to the parking lot now.